Hello, this is Tanya R. Lewis with the Diary of Dating Over 50, and I'm honored to be sitting here with Dr. Arthur Vaughn. He's have invited me into his home, and we're going to dive right into his life. Dr. Vaughn,
Yes, ma'am.
introduce yourself to us. That's how I do it.
I'm Arthur Vaughn. I'm lived in Marietta for the last 30 years. Originally from New York. I absolutely love Georgia.
Oh,
This is
wow.
this is home, and I'm just happy to be here this evening.
All right. Okay. So we're going to find out about Dr. Vaughn's life when he was a kid. So can you share a bit about your childhood and how it shaped you?
Sure. Well, I'm the youngest of eight. I do have a twin sister, but I'm still the youngest of eight.
Wow.
Grew up in New York, two-parent household. A lot of people act like we didn't have that. What they would call now a working class family.
Mhm.
The son of a sanitation worker, who was the son of a sanitation worker.
Oh, wow.
My dad finished ninth grade, went fought in the end of World War II, and in Korea. My mom completed the ninth grade. She was part of the Great Migration. Her family was part of the Great Migration. She finished 12th grade and spent her whole career as a federal employee. And because of them, I've been able to do everything that I've been able to do since. Right. So,
Were they big on education even though they weren't, where your father wasn't fully educated?
well, my mom was. Like a lot of first generation families, they didn't know the mechanics of it.
Hmm.
How do you go about getting beyond this point? What does those next steps look like? What's required and why? So
Yes.
it's like a lot of first generation college students whose parents want them to do it, but you don't have that backdrop to understand the how to do
Okay. Okay. So, did you go outside, play in the dirt, or was you a kid that was curious with a book in your
it.
hand?
I was a kid that spent most of his youth on an athletic field.
Okay.
I suck. I average at basketball at best. Baseball below average. Track and football. Yeah, that I excelled in that space.
Did you play football in college?
I ran track at Syracuse University.
Okay. Okay. So, wait a minute. You've been in Georgia. Did you come to Georgia after you finished college?
I did.
Okay.
After I
Okay.
finished undergraduate school at Syracuse, I worked on Wall Street for 3 years, and then I moved to Georgia to pursue my graduate education.
Okay. So, while we on the college thing,
Okay.
what led you to join the Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity, and how has that experience influenced your life and career today?
Well, I will tell you the two things beyond my family that have probably made the biggest impact on my life is
Hmm.
one, enrolling at Syracuse University
Okay.
and pledging Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated in the spring of 1990 on the campus of Syracuse University through the Delta Zeta chapter. Um, I, I am one who doesn't diminish or criticize any of the other organizations, but Alpha
Okay.
fit for me. The leaders
Yes.
at Syracuse when I was there, black males, they were alphas. SGA presidents, student government leaders, people who were doing leading the campus as academically, right?
Hmm.
They had great parties. I'm going to admit the Sigmas probably had the best ones, but my Sigma friends, y'all know that already.
Okay.
But they had really good parties, but the academic and the leadership, and probably the leadership more because I struggled academically through undergraduate.
Did you?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
What made you struggle? Girls.
Uh, I came to Syracuse academically unprepared for college.
Okay. Okay.
I initially wasn't admitted to Syracuse,
Mhm.
and then because of my athletic gifts, I was admitted. The president has provisional people that he can admit, and,
Mhm.
and I was
Use
admitted
it
based
that
on
way.
athletics. So but inside of my doctoral
Mhm.
dissertation
Mhm.
is that transcript. I tell you, 2.3 to PhD.
2 point. Okay.
Yeah, I was academically and emotionally unprepared
Okay.
for the
So
rigors of college.
did the joining the fraternity, did that help you kind of get your stuff together and start getting more prepared?
Absolutely. Well, Alpha in particular pushes academic excellence,
Yes, I
right?
I read that.
So the people around me they insisted, excuse me, that you could not be in this space and not be in those books.
Okay. 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 Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay. So is it true that like fraternities is it's a whole different beast? It's a brotherhood because you just celebrated 35 years of being.
Yeah. So I'm in two really well. I'm really in multiple brotherhoods,
Okay.
but two I'd like to highlight first is we have an athletic brotherhood at Syracuse.
Okay.
We bleed orange. Uh, Dear friends. I go back. We spend time. We read the young people. We fellowship. We have that camaraderie in that
Mm-hmm.
space.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but then I also have the camaraderie within the fraternity. Yes, and just like any family, both of those brotherhoods, sometimes we disagree,
Okay.
and sometimes you get on each other's nerves, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you say what you gotta say, and then you go have a drink.
Okay. Okay. So tell me something. Why were you hanging out with Morris Chestnut? Or
Oh, I was hanging with Morris
okay,
Chestnut.
but you were in
We
the
were
same.
both at the same. We
Okay.
both breathed the same air
Okay.
uh, at the Columbia Black Expo last
Okay.
week.
Okay.
He was a featured speaker on stage doing a chat,
Mm-hmm.
and I was there promoting two of my books,
Okay.
"Survivor's Remorse: The Healing Power of Faith," and "Through Her Eyes: One Family's Journey from Enslavement Through the Great Migration."
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. So we're going to talk about those books,
Okay.
but we're going to get into the part where you had a heart transplant.
Okay.
Can you walk me through the experience and what it taught you? I know it's taught you resilience.
It, so it taught me a lot of things.
Okay.
One of the things I like to emphasize when I talk about the transplant is God's grace and learning what favor is and how to deal with favor. I didn't know that before.
Mm-hmm.
I was an avid runner. I had just finished my eighth consecutive Peachtree Road Race, which is a 6.1 mile, 10K,
Mm-hmm.
6.2, excuse me,
6.2.
a
Yeah.
10K days before and played a golf round of golf the next day. So that was a Thursday and a Friday in 2019. Went to hang out with the fellas Sunday, couldn't breathe, couldn't figure out what was wrong, went home. Monday went to the doctor. Uh, Doctor said, hey, I need you to see a cardiologist. I called a good friend of mine, Winston Gandy, who's one of the top black cardiologists in Georgia. Winston said, where's your wife? I was married at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I said, about 10 miles away. He said, call her. When she got there, Winston explained to me that if we don't get you in heart failure, if we don't get you a new heart, you won't be here in a month.
Mm-hmm.
I fell to my knees and cried and screamed that I wasn't ready to go. So that journey has taught me a lot of things, but one thing I always tell people I want to get them to redefine what it means to man up. A lot of times we would have went home and said, I must be just tired. It's been a long weekend.
I'm glad you
Let me
said
push
that.
through.
Yes.
Um, we pay premiums every month. So if you don't feel right, go to the doctor, get a checkup, get a physical. We should get our annual physical anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I try to do it every year in March because it's the month of my birth.
Mm-hmm.
So I never have to wonder when was the last time I got a physical.
Oh,
Is it March? Have I had one, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So I encourage men to redefine man up. And man up can mean that I need to take care of myself. I need to show weakness. I need to make sure that I'm here for my children, grandchildren,
Yes.
and future generations, and not that I'm going to push myself till I fall over.
Okay. Can you tell me that moment when that doctor told you that you will not survive without a heart? Walk me through those feelings that you had.
I would say despair.
Mm-hmm.
I literally fell to my knees crying, yelling, I'm not ready to die. I'm not ready to die. And just tears, just uncontrollable tears, because I'm thinking I'm 50. I just celebrated my 50th birthday. Had 100 of my friends to a birthday party. My daughter, one's in high school, one's in college, one's in graduate school. Just wasn't ready. I was
A lot
like,
of
it just
people
hit you.
depended on you too.
A lot of people depended on me emotionally,
Mm-hmm.
physically, and financially. Uh, and I just wasn't ready to go. I just felt like it was too early. I was too young. I had too much life to live for this to be the end.
So walk us through the point of, okay, I found out I need a heart. Um, what is the steps that you took after that?
So my physical health decompensated quickly, or I got weaker quickly. So I was in and out of consciousness. So I had an angel of a wife at the time who made sure that when I was coherent, when I was lucid, that I understood everything that was going on.
Just wait a minute. Did they put you in the hospital instantly?
Oh, the ambulance came to the doctor's office, took me to St. Joe's. I got worse. Took my first helicopter ride ever from St. Joe's to Emory.
Wow.
His first and only helicopter ride. Mm-hmm. And then they went and put a defibrillator and a pacemaker here immediately. And I just kept getting worse, and I got in and out of consciousness. She helped go through the process. It is not for the faint at heart. They get on the list. They pry into your family history, your childhood history. When was the last time you went to the dentist? How often do you go to the doctor? Do you smoke? Do you drink? Do you have an STD? I mean, they're checking it all, right? Asking about mental health and family history, because they really want to make sure that you're just, whatever deserving means, that you're deserving of this organ, right? So you can't fight with them on that, right? You just got it. Whatever they're asking for,
You got to give
don't
it to
them
them.
say it's none of your business. Yeah, it's their business.
Yes.
Give them what they need. And we also learned that there's too few people of color on the transplant list.
Wow.
There's a huge mistrust of the medical structure, whether it's through Henrietta Lacks or the Tuskegee experiment or these various things that we've gone through. The gentleman out of Montgomery who they consider the father of OBGYN, right? All these abuses of African Americans in the health field. So there's a large distrust. So there's not enough of us on the transplant list, but we overwhelmingly are on the list to get an organ. So we have to have that conversation and build some trust between us and the medical enterprise. But you go through a lot. They ask a lot of questions, and most people are on the list for years.
Yes.
All right. I was on the list for 4 days.
Wow.
So from being admitted to getting a new heart for a total of 14 days, and I was on the list for 4 of those 14.
My mom was on the list for a kidney transplant, and she got one in a couple months. But when they call you, but you were in the hospital.
I was in the hospital.
But when they call you, you have to be ready. You have to go just like that.
Gotta stay ready.
So were you on assistant, like the breathing machine, all of that?
No, initially they put what's called, they put a pump basically in my left leg, right?
Yes.
In the femoral artery.
Right.
That pump wasn't strong enough, so they replaced it with this thing called an Impala. There was only like 2 in the whole hospital. So at that point, my heart had, and I won't get into EF and what all that means, but at that point, that machine was keeping the blood flowing. My heart had completely failed. So it wasn't working.
So that was keeping your heart going.
The machine was keeping the blood moving through my body. The heart was done.
Yeah. So tell me, when they came in there and they said, Dr. Vaughn, we got you a heart.
So I'm a little silly, right?
I know you are very silly.
So he came in and said, hey, I'm 98% sure I have a heart for you. We sent the jet to go get it.
98%?
I was like, Emory's got a jet. He's like, bro, did you get a heart for it? I'm like, trying to figure out, y'all got your own jet? But
you know what?
So it had to be within 500 nautical miles of where the hospital is. I didn't care the difference between a regular mile and a nautical mile. All I knew was you were going to get one.
Right.
And I would hit him on the chest, happy, thrilled. I didn't even realize how hard I was hitting the surgeon, because I was blessed to have the chair of cardiothoracic surgery at Emory as my caregiver, my surgeon. So he's the head of cardiothoracic surgery for Emory. He's the doctor that all the other doctors said if they had to have somebody cutting on them,
That's the
that's
one
who
you
they
want. You
want
want.
to cut on.
And how did you get him? How did it was
All of that.
just
People,
all.
some of my friends were like, "What?" So I used to be fairly involved in politics. They were like, "What senator did you call? What
Yeah,
congressman did you?"
because I heard you say you'll call somebody for the police and get somebody out of jail.
Uh,
So
don't be telling a secret. Everybody now you have people call me for the plug.
call him when y'all need to get out of jail.
No. You call the bail bondsman. Or
Okay.
keep your behind out of jail. And you got to worry about it. But it wasn't any of that. It was God. I tell people this tattoo on my arm is Gina May. It means but God. We do these things, and God wasn't finished with me yet. He wanted me to have a testimony. He wanted me to talk to men about men's health and save a black man's life, or mentor somebody who was walking in the wrong way, right, or doing something wrong. It was something left that I wasn't done, because many people who had giant cell myocarditis, which is what I had, they find
Say
out
it again. What
giant cell myocarditis.
that mean?
Anything
You're enlarged.
myocarditis means heart, right? Giant cell meant yes, the cells in my heart were growing, and it was my immune system was attacking my heart. My immune system was attacking my native heart.
Was this always, or
No,
it
no.
just all
It's
of
a
a sudden
virus
just
that somehow entered my body, and through one of my travels, more than likely.
overseas?
Yeah, and because I went from healthy, and when you get giant cell, you get sick so quickly that most times they find out what you died from during autopsy.
Okay.
So I manned up, and when I didn't feel right, I went to the doctor.
Mhm.
If I had said, "Hey, I'm just gonna push it through," I'd have been like my West Indian friends. They said, "Him wake up dead."
Him wait.
So I would have died
Yeah.
driving behind the wheel of a car at work.
It could have just
Anywhere.
came on, just like on
Yeah.
to just
The
happen,
heart
just
would have
like
just
that.
failed. And
Yeah.
I would have
So
died.
tell my viewers,
Mhm.
my brothers, and all men, don't put stuff off.
Well, two things I would tell men, right? One is get your annual physical, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever month you're born in, make an appointment, get a checkup, do it annually. And two, listen to your body.
Okay.
If your body says rest, rest. If something you know what's normal, if you don't feel normal, go to the doctor.
Okay.
Don't stay at home. You pay the premiums. Go to the doctor. That $25, $50 copay can save your life.
Okay.
Go to the doctor.
So what side effects do you have walking? Because my mother, wait a minute, when my mother had a kidney, when she would act up or say something crazy, I would always tell her, that's that man's kidney you got in there. He doing what he want to do. When she would get smart or something or say something crazy.
Yeah.
What side effects do you have?
So,
and you don't have to cry about me. I know.
excuse me. The side effects are really from the medications. I take quite a few medications every day. I take medications related to immunosuppressants to make sure my body doesn't reject this.
That's that $2,000 stuff, isn't it? Because my mother had to take it.
So I'm blessed to have really good insurance. So I've never seen a bill for $2,000.
Yeah, that medicine is about $2,000 or $3,000.
Like today, I picked up my drugs. They cost me $11.62.
Oh wow! Wow.
So I don't.
That medicine is.
But I will tell you, this process is challenging. So I knew how to advocate for myself. My family knew how to advocate for me. So one of the things I like to do now is I can advocate for those who don't know how to advocate for themselves. Okay. So I think that's one of the reasons why God spared me. One of the many. Some of the side effects from the drugs I take, this process broke me. One day I woke up and doctor said, "Are you okay?" And I started screaming, "I need help, I need help." I lost it completely. I was crying. I truly believe what I was screaming was, "I need God, I need God." So side effects, I go see a therapist every Tuesday at 2 o'clock. So I believe in therapy. I believe in getting help. I believe in talk therapy and other kinds of therapy. So I work with mental health therapy. It doesn't mean I'm broken or I'm less than. The same way somebody gets insulin because they have diabetes or aspirin because they have a headache, I seek therapy because I want my health to be right, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some of the other things is when you lay in a bed for a long time, your muscles atrophied or they weaken, they deteriorate.
Mm-hmm.
I used to be I used to call it Vaughn. I was a big, strong guy, right? So I'm still working through muscle
That.
weakness
Mm-hmm.
in my legs and arms. But I think some bouts of depression,
Yes.
adjustment disorder, and
Mm-hmm.
things of that nature. And I share those stories because I've had friends. When I talk about it, they'll admit when it's the guys, when
Yeah.
it's just us, and they'll say, "Hey, they suffer through what some level of mental challenge, and they'll open up and talk about it because they feel like it's a safe space, and it is."
Yes.
Right?
So, do you ever feel, and probably therapy probably helped you with this, that that heart may just stop working? I'm, I'm sure that that is a thought at times because my mother used to always say, I sometimes I feel like I'm gonna get up and my kidney's not gonna work anymore.
When it first got transplanted, I would not get back into the hospital bed because
Oh
that
no.
bed represented it was a symbol and an artifact of death for me. So when
Mm-hmm.
I first they wanted me to get into bed, I'd sleep in the chair
You
next
slip
to
in
the
the
bed.
chair.
I refused to get into bed because it represented death and it represented illness, and I didn't want to get back in there. There have been times over the last just short of 6 years now, it'll be 6 years in July. Yeah, then I've worried about, is this thing gonna just stop working? Am I gonna go to sleep and not wake up?
Okay. Okay.
But you find peace in Christ and in God.
Yes.
So
You
if
better
that
say it.
happens,
Say it
if
louder.
that happens, it's
Absolutely.
God's plan, not
Hmm.
mine. So I found a certain level of peace in it. But but your mortality, facing it is always a challenge.
Okay. Tell me, because my thoughts is, you are Arthur. Um, where did the inspiration from Survivor's Remorse? Tell me
Sure.
about that book.
So when I was in the hospital, the senior pastor at Turner Chapel AME Church, Richard Tayue, Richard Allen Bright Sr., he and the executive pastor, Pastor Don, would come see me almost regularly, along with Pastor Lynn, the care and comfort pastor.
They would come in,
They would come see me every day.
every day.
Every day, Lynn was, I don't know if Lynn left. She was always there. I was really blessed between, you mentioned the fraternity
Hmm.
and my Syracuse Orange.
They
We
probably
all
had to
bleed
stop
orange.
people from coming to your
They
room,
did.
huh? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my Syracuse family, my fraternity family, other organizations, 100 Black Men, just people that knew me. I was really blessed to have a community and a tribe looking out for me. Right, my University of Georgia family, so I had a really large community looking out for me, and one of my dear friends, Jasmine Bellamy, who I went to college with.
Okay.
Um, Jasmine and I share a lot of things. We pledged the same semester. She's a year, 2 years younger than me. We're dear friends. We both are married. We both got divorced. We share a lot. We're
Hmm.
very. She's like my little sister, right?
Hmm.
And she's also a minister. So Jasmine and I would talk, and between Reverend Don and Reverend Bright, Lynn, and Jasmine, we would talk about getting the story. How do I share that? How does my experience, this is post transplant, how do I take my experience and uh, help others? So, the healing power of faith, Jasmine and I were texting and talking one night, and she came up with the name of the book. So, the name of the book is
Survivor's Remorse.
Jasmine Bellamy. That's
Okay.
all jazz.
Hmm.
Um, the content, if you read it, there's usually a Bible scripture, and the story I tell after it is tied to that Bible scripture.
Okay.
Um, so I was a way for me to. It's not about me at all. It's about how can those stories bless you.
Mm.
There's a story I always share, like you mentioned, Dr. Vaughn, right? So I'm in the
Hmm.
hospital. Everybody's calling me Dr. Vaughn. One night I couldn't properly clean myself, and the nurse I felt was ignoring me, like I wasn't there, and I lost it. I used every color sentence enhancer and colorful metaphor I knew,
You
but
just went off.
I went off.
Okay.
But then everybody on the floor showed up. I got clean. They changed the linen. Never saw that nurse again. Doctor showed up, right? But there's a scripture where Jesus says, "What you do for me, do for the least of me." So I'm
Um,
thinking, if you call me Dr. Vaughn, what are you doing for that older person that can't advocate, doesn't know how to advocate for themselves. That younger person,
Mm-hmm.
that wife who's caring for a husband, that husband caring for the mother. How if they I can advocate for myself. I have people around me that can't advocate for me. If this is happening, if I feel this way, how do they feel when they don't know how to speak up?
Yes.
So this book is all about how can it be a blessing to someone else. It's not a that book's not about me. It's about being a blessing to
Okay.
others.
Okay. I see that. So, uh, the new book, her,
Yes.
what's that one? The
Through her eyes.
Through Her Eyes.
Through her
Through Her
eyes,
Eyes.
one family's journey from enslavement to the Great Migration. So I
You
got divorced.
you have a lot of stuff in
Yeah,
your
I
head.
do. So I got divorced in 2020, right?
Mhm.
Um,
During COVID, huh?
yeah. So in the midst of moving, I
Mhm.
unearthed these letters that my grandmother had written, family history
Oh
letters she would
my.
write when I was in college, right? She did that for a lot of my cousins, and it was the family history, and I really enjoyed writing and the creative side. So we traced my
Mhm.
family history back into the early 1800s. So I began writing its work of historical fiction, telling the family's history from enslavement through the Great Migration through the lens of the women who lived it.
Okay.
So many of our stories are male dominated and,
Mhm.
patriarchal. This is talking about the matriarch of the family,
Okay.
the person who I knew on Sundays. We were going to be in Brooklyn at my grandmother's house. Didn't matter where you went to
Mhm.
church. All the cousins, we knew dinner at 2 o'clock at grandma's house on Sunday,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So I really wanted to tell these stories through the lens of women and what their experience was through enslavement and through their great migration.
Okay. So where did that take you going back to the 1800s? Where was your family? Where were they at?
Sure. My oldest known African American ancestor was sold into slavery in Charleston Bay in South Carolina.
Hmm.
Uh, was on a slave plantation in Union, South Carolina, which, if you're familiar with Rock Hill, it's almost the borderline of North Carolina and South Carolina. There's an AME church there, Paradise AME Church,
Mm-hmm.
where and next to the church is a cemetery where my enslaved and freed ancestors are buried. And I've been to that cemetery a number of times. And then across town, which was like a 20-minute drive, there's a Presbyterian church where the enslaver is buried. And at one point, he owned all of
All
that
of that.
land. He was so wealthy that he helped
Mm-hmm.
fund the succession of South Carolina from the United States. And we have a copy of the pardon where the president pardoned him after the Civil War.
Oh my.
All of that's in the book.
Ah, that and I mean, I wish I had some information like that, to be able to go back. And I'm sure if I start digging, but to have your grandmother, because we wrote letters back
Yeah,
then.
they were.
It was nothing for them to put pen to paper.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't know, pen and paper is gone forever, probably. Okay, so so you're real big with the HBCU schools. You
Yes,
have a scholarship.
I do.
Yes, I seen that.
We have. I've started giving out a scholarship. Excuse me. I think around 2003, 2004 was the first one to a young lady named Brittany White, who graduated from Marietta High School.
Okay.
Brittany is now an assistant coach for the University of UNO, University of New Orleans women's basketball team. And I was in New Orleans for 6 months last year, and I connected with Brittany and got to see her, and she's thriving and doing amazing things. So we've been giving out that scholarship since then. And I'll tell you, Kennedy, my middle daughter, when she was at Savannah State when I got ill, and I was worried about how to pay her tuition, and Savannah State said, "Don't worry about it, it's done. It was taken
Okay.
care of." They said, "Yeah, that you got other things to think about." So that fall, her tuition was, and so now we continue that scholarship, and Kennedy's now taken over as the representative for the family in that scholarship, learn what I call the family business. And now it goes to a student attending Savannah State, Albany State, or Fort Valley State.
That's amazing.
Um, but it's a student like me, so you have to have below a 3.0 GPA.
Okay.
So it has to be a student that may not have
maybe a C average.
a
Huh?
C average.
Yes.
Maybe they didn't blossom yet, but
Mhm.
this money is going to help them get that opportunity to blossom.
But you say that you were below average, but you deal with numbers.
I,
You're a
well,
financial man.
I blossomed and flourished later in life.
Okay, I got you. I got you. But you know what? I noticed that you support a lot of young folks.
I do.
You just supported a basketball team, a player.
Yes.
Um, what school was that? It was
Oh,
several.
Des.
Yeah, yeah,
You talking about Desmond Glover, Morris
yes,
College.
yes.
He's Dez's dad has never been in his life. His
Mm.
mom has stage 4 cancer. So for senior night, Des didn't have anybody to walk out with him. He said, "Doc, will you come out with me?" And so on senior night, me and Des walked the half court. He got his jersey,
I
frame
know I was
jersey.
tearing up when I
So
seen
so
that.
so
Yeah.
yeah, Des hit me up this week. He borrowed $30. Des, I want my money back.
Yes,
But
if you watched it,
yeah,
you got to pay back so you
but
can
yeah,
get them again.
so I want him to pay it back through paying it forward, right?
Yes, yes.
But yeah, so he and throughout the course of the last year, he's looked up to me for one reason or another. I'm someone he can talk to. So when he needed somebody to walk out with him, I didn't want the brother to walk out there by himself. So I walked
Wow,
out there
that's
with
right.
him.
So you've been doing a lot this last 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
Um, yes, I was in his DM, y'all. That's how I got. I see. I don't know how I see
No, no.
your book.
Wait. She's in on my Facebook profile. Not DM. Don't get
Oh,
me
well,
no
I'm
trouble
sorry,
around here.
your messenger. Because when
Get
I
in
see
trouble around
when
here.
I seen him, like his accolades and stuff, and I was starting the Diary of Dating Over 50 because my podcast is just not about
Yes.
single people. It's
Yes.
about people in relationships and people that are married because married people give us hope. And my slogan is there hope or is it a joke? But when I seen all the things that you were doing, I was like, I want to talk to this man. I want my viewers to hear what he got to say. Why did you say yes to me? I know
Well,
I have a way of getting what I want, but
well, I did because I think again, God has given me another opportunity to share a message and to be something positive for someone else.
okay.
Dr. King talked about if I'll misquote it, but he
Mm-hmm.
talked about if he could do certain things, his life wouldn't be in vain,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
So I was like, if somebody can be blessed when I talk about my transplant and know that hope is not lost,
Mm-hmm.
if somebody can say, hey, he's met an amazing woman after going through a divorce,
Mm-hmm.
I can too. Or a woman can say, I can meet a man that they like. I'll let somebody else determine if I'm amazing. But
I'm sure you are amazing.
but
Because
there's hope, right?
yeah,
There's life after trauma.
yeah. Oh
So
my, I like that.
if I can be that for someone, and that I may have never met and may never meet,
Mm-hmm.
why not?
You not just because I'm an amazing podcaster, y'all. It's just because of what
That
he
too.
said.
That too.
Because of what he said.
That-
So, is Dr. Vaughn in love?
Uh,
Y'all know I was gonna go there.
yes.
Okay, tell us about this special woman. I got to meet her, y'all, but
So I'm not. She didn't give me permission to say her name, so I ain't gonna.
okay, we won't put her out there like that.
We learned about being Facebook official last week.
Oh, y'all Facebook. Tell me about Facebook official.
Well,
What's
she
Facebook
learned
official?
what it meant, right?
What does that mean?
It's the first time you advertise your relationship on social media. You become social media official.
Official, yes. Because
so-
soon as you put them on Facebook, something happens, don't it?
yeah,
Something always
people,
happens.
ooh, y'all look cute.
Uh-huh.
Ooh, who's that? Or some people unfriend you because they're like, damn it, I don't have a shot no more.
Right.
Whatever it is,
Right.
So I'm.
Tell them where you met her at first.
Sure.
Because people think online it doesn't work.
Well, often it doesn't. Online dating is not for the faint of heart. There's a lot. So I met her on Facebook dating, and I didn't know it existed until one of my frat brothers was like, "Yo, you ever tried Facebook dating?"
It is free.
I said, "Is that a thing?" And so I met her there. We're both UJ alum, and she'll tell you the only reason she gave me a shot is because I'm also a UJ alum.
Whatever it takes.
So go dogs. And I met her there February, I guess. Well, the first time we went out was February. It's been great ever since. She's a double dog. That means she has 2 degrees from Georgia.
Okay, so how do you tell a woman that you just start dating and that you really like? How do you tell her you walking around with somebody else's heart?
I honestly don't know when and how I told her.
Huh.
but it came up, right? I know it came up because it's part of who I am,
It is. It's your
and
story
and
or your
you
testimony.
know, I think people
Mm-hmm.
should have an opportunity to
Mm-hmm.
understand that while I have been broken, I'm not. While I have had a scar, I'm not broken,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So I just think I don't want it to be certain things you got to lead, you got to tell early, right? So
Yes.
you got to give them the choice, right?
Right.
And that's only fair. So I don't know how early it came up, but I shared it because it's just part of. It doesn't define me, but it's part of who I
It is. And you guys know I am a brand ambassador for John. I'm a testimony, and
am.
um,
Yeah,
Dr.
breakfast
Vaughn,
shirt.
he seen me pose because I would pose it in that shirt, honey. He seen me posing in the shirt, and he said, "I like that." And thanks, John,
Yes.
who is I'm a testimony brand owner. He's the owner of the brand. He came and personally brought him some shirts and some other things.
Yes, and
Yeah,
I'm so thankful.
yeah,
I'm going to wear this shirt with pride.
because you
And
are a
when someone
testimony.
asks me what it means, that's an opportunity to say, "Hey, man up. Go see
Yes,
the. When was the last time you saw the doctor?
yes,
Man up. You know, uh, you need to behave a certain way in your relationship. Man up, and take care of your kids. You don't have to. Uh, do the whatever that is. Man up.
man
Go to
up
the
can be
community.
applied to so
Yes,
so
but
many
we have to
things.
redefine it.
Yes.
Uh, Depending on where you grew up, a lot of it was bravado. It was
Mm-hmm.
about, it was dangerous because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, at the slightest slight, you were ready to go to blows or worse. At the slightest sense of disrespect, at least that's where I grew up,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, and so, sometimes being a man saying, "Hey, you got it, bro,"
Yeah.
and you walk away.
Yeah.
You,
Yeah.
you don't want to risk. What for?
Okay.
What for?
Okay. So looking back,
Mm-hmm.
what do you wish you had known about love and relationships when you were younger?
So I got a lot of bad advice from my older brothers.
They told you.
Worst, worst advice ever. Worst. So they no. I don't think they told me one good thing. That probably shaped some really bad behaviors and really bad things, right? Um, I use the phrase and dying to oneself. I use that phrase a lot over the last 5 years. So I think learning and trying, and I'm not perfect. I slip up,
Mm-hmm.
right? But understanding that put other needs before your own. I'm learning to better see things through somebody else's eyes, so I can govern my behaviors accordingly. I don't have to lose myself to die to myself,
Mm-hmm.
but I also have to be more considerate
Yes.
and how what my actions impact other people.
Not be selfish.
Not be selfish.
Yeah.
That's part of dying to oneself, putting
Yeah.
your own ego, selfishness away, and really being a better person for others. And so,
So, with your experience with your heart transplant, your experience, how long were you married?
20 years.
20-year marriage. And all of, because you've had the greatest support. There is no reason for you to do anything that's crazy outside of being a fool of a man. Because you've had to have your Million Man Brothers, your fraternity, with all of this, it's probably going to make you whatever woman or this beautiful woman that's in your life now,
Mhm.
she gonna get the best out
My dear friend Rick, if he hadn't told already, he will probably tell her that she's getting a better version of me. All right, because he said it before.
of you. Yes.
So I would say it's a better version. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay. So what? How do you envision your life partner supporting your journey on this heart journey?
So
What would you want your partner um,
so
to be
the
that
things
support?
away from the family, been there, done that. Don't
Mm-hmm.
need another.
Mm-hmm.
I'm that part of my life is winding down. Right, my
Okay.
life's not winding, but so for me, it's supporting each other.
Okay.
Right, so it can't be about me because that's
Mm-hmm.
that's unsustainable.
Mm-hmm.
Um, So sometimes I might want to eat something I shouldn't eat.
Mm.
Check me.
Check you
I,
right back.
I have an unhealthy relationship with Diet Coke. Put more water in my hand and less
Diet Coke.
Diet Coke, and remind me that I need to be here and
Mm-hmm.
I need to do these things so I can see my eventual, I don't have any yet,
Mm-hmm.
grandchildren
Yeah.
and live as long as possible. So somebody that say, hey, look, babe, let's go for a walk.
Mm-hmm.
Today we might walk a mile. Next week we might walk 3, but let's get up off this sofa and move.
Yes.
So for me, that support comes in us doing it together because I don't want to grow by myself. So
Right.
I need her to walk with me,
Yes.
her to eat healthy with me.
Mm-hmm.
So we both can be here as long as possible. Um, and somebody that is that safe space.
Okay.
Um, I can quote her and say somebody that's my water in the desert or the Tylenol when my head
Oh.
hurts. So yeah,
Okay.
that would work.
So you got this trophy for cooking.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
y'all.
yeah.
How do you cook? Do you cook healthy? Do you?
I do.
Mm-hmm.
I use olive oil
Mm-hmm.
when I cook. I use fresh vegetables that are in a cutting board. I'm going to chop them. I'm going to cook on the grill.
Mm-hmm.
I don't fry food.
Good.
Yesterday we had it was grilled chicken. It was done on the grill with broccoli and a baked potato, baked sweet potato. But the sweet potato didn't have a bunch of brown sugar
Mm-hmm.
and a loaded of margarine or butter or anything like that. So eating better,
Mm-hmm.
a
Okay.
salad is always good. But so it's a lot of when I cook a healthy,
Yes, that's what I try
more
to do too.
healthy food.
I know one thing, it's attractive, and man, it's sexy when he can cook. And,
Yeah.
and when she was describing over there talking like, oh, yes, I love that he can cook it. Her body was going like this. And I was crying. I said, yeah, he got her now. He got her now. Okay. Okay. So if you could tell our viewers out there,
Mhm.
especially the young men,
Young man, okay.
what would you say to
Well, one, you just got to be yourself, man. Be who you are. Don't, they say pigeons fly in flocks and eagles
them?
fly alone.
Oh,
Be an eagle, right? You don't see a flock of eagles, but you'll
mhm.
see a flock of pigeons, right?
Never heard that
Yeah,
before.
yeah. So be the eagle. The eagle will fly alone. The eagle is the more powerful bird, and he can stand or she can stand. I don't know. I guess eagles are women. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah,
They're
the eggs and
women.
everything, whatever. But you can fly your own. You can chart your own path,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
You can, whether you choose to do the route I did and go get a college education, or if you choose to go into the military or you choose to enter the workforce, all of those are valid choices.
Hmm.
But do something. Make sure you can provide for yourself and your family spiritually, emotionally, and financially. And I made sure I put financially third on purpose,
Why is that?
because if you're going to be the head of your home, you have to cover your spouse, you have to cover your kids spiritually. I'm not
Yes.
telling you what to believe, but believe in something. Emotionally, you have to be in a place where they don't have to. They need to feel secure,
Yes.
and they need to feel protected. They need to feel that they can be vulnerable, and then financially, because
Yes.
everybody's not going to make 6 figures. Everybody's not going to make 7 figures, but you still can provide with, and
That mental and that spiritual,
so
it's
yeah.
worth all the weight in
So
gold.
we have to teach our young men it's okay not to be okay sometimes,
Mhm. And to
um,
say it.
and to say it, and that therapy is not a bad word. The same way we talked on Tuesday about the Pacers cheating my Knicks out of Game
That's
One.
what you talk to your therapist about on
No,
Tuesday?
no, I talked to
Oh,
her about. I talked to her about other stuff. Yeah, but the
well, they
same
cheat
way.
the
But I
Cavaliers
want
anyway.
men to normalize discussions of mental health the same
Mhm.
way we normalize discussions about athletics,
Right.
right? So that's really the point. Can we normalize those conversations
Yeah. Can
with
we?
each other? No, we
Mhm.
don't have to be in a huge group, but can we normalize conversations about our mental and physical and emotional health the same way we've normalized scores of games,
Yeah.
right?
And do you know? I think more relationships would last if men did just what you said.
But so I'm gonna give a
Oh,
counterpoint to that, right?
okay.
I don't disagree with your point,
Okay.
but the same way a lot of men, so again a generalization,
Hmm.
we're taught men don't cry, men can't be weak.
Hmm.
A lot of women were taught if a man cries, if a man shows weakness,
Right.
I can't be with him.
Right.
So we both have to
Right.
figure out how do we unlearn what generations of our
Mhm.
families have
I
taught
want
us.
you to cry. I
Yeah,
want you to
but
tell me.
we gotta unlearn that as
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
because I can't be weak if you're gonna see me as weak.
Hmm.
So I can't be. No, I'm sorry. I can't be vulnerable
Yeah.
if you're gonna see me as weak. So now I'm pretending and I'm gonna build up, and then when I explode, because I've let this build up in me, then we have an issue, right?
Yes.
So we both. So I'm not blaming women, but
Okay.
both men and women have to figure out how to accept the other one's vulnerabilities.
Okay. So, what is in the future? I know you have this beautiful woman in your
I do.
life,
I do.
and I know you're glad you off the dating market.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, because I wish I was too. But anyway,
So the future is
what's in
bright.
your future?
The future is bright.
Mm-hmm.
We both have agreed we date with a purpose.
Oh,
So we're
okay.
not sport fishing.
What's the purpose?
Well, the purpose
She
is
gave me a list of questions to ask you.
oh,
So
she
come on.
did. So the purpose is a lifelong relationship, but the purpose is marriage. The purpose is to grow together and to grow old together, to have her kids and my kids become friends and family,
Yes.
to eventually have grandchildren, but to live whatever is left of this journey together.
So are your daughters? Because you had three
I
daughters.
do.
That mean you couldn't make no boys.
I'm good.
Okay. Anyway, but are your daughters overprotective of you
God
now? Since you
no.
know,
No.
no,
I
they're not.
asked the girls. I said, one thing I will never do is badmouth their mother.
Hmm.
Right?
Absolutely not.
I will tell people it just didn't work.
Yes.
And I asked them one time. They said, "Hey, how would you feel if me or your mother dated?"
Hmm.
Right? And they said, "Well, y'all are old. We don't care.
Oh,
We just not gonna pretend we like her if we don't. But go do
okay.
you."
Okay, but that's a good answer.
So other than the old part, yeah.
Yeah.
But so no, they're cool. They want us to be happy, right?
Have,
And
have
if we
they
can't
have
be
they met
happy
her yet?
together, I would say in passing. We
Okay.
went to a recital and they were between shows. It was
Hmm.
in passing,
Okay.
right? But that's in the near future.
Absolutely.
That's in the near future.
Absolutely. So what is the future with you and her? What is it, the tell me the steps. Where we going?
Where are we going?
Yeah. What's
Uh,
next?
what's next
Yeah.
is we're going to continue this journey, and if it stays on the same path it's on now, there's probably a 3 carat ring floating
Oh,
around.
okay.
You know, and then I'll have to get her one because no, no, yeah, there's probably but no, seriously,
Yeah.
if it keeps going the way it's going, uh, I've met her 2 children, a boy and a girl and a boy, male,
Mhm.
female, whatever.
Mhm.
They like me. And all indications are they do.
They-
Um, high school graduate this week, college graduate 2 weeks ago, a week
Yeah.
ago, right? So that's good.
Okay. Yeah, that is. They
Uh,
now it's time for mom. It's mommy's time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but they like me. We get along. I texted daughter secrets when we were going to surprise her for something. I forgot. Was it Mother's Day? Mother's Day. Yeah, right.
Mhm.
So everything's going really well. I'm happy.
You have a great sense of humor, and I be reading some of those. What was that one thing you posted
I don't know.
about something about the workout?
Oh, I said a man proposed to his wife at the gym, and she said no.
No.
Then I said, I guess they're not going to work out.
Right. That's the corny stuff.
It's corny.
But it's funny.
It's dad
you know?
jokes. Dad jokes.
Yeah,
Dad
yeah.
jokes,
And that's good that you have a sense of humor because at one time it was dark for you.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sure it was.
It is.
You know.
Yeah. The challenges is daily. I went to the doctor today. The challenges are there's ups and downs in every day, but that's life. Ups and downs. Mine are the set.
Mhm.
Somebody else has a different set. Somebody's
Right.
out there trying to figure out how they're going to eat tonight.
Yeah.
I don't have that challenge. So I remember that and never let myself get too high or too low.
Yes.
because
Yes.
there's somebody that's got things you never know. You
Mhm.
never know. But
Well,
for the grace of God, go I.
yes, it's amazing to sit here and watch how God has touched your life, has touched those doctors' hands
Mm-hmm.
to crack you open, because they crack you open
Oh yeah.
literally and drop that heart inside you.
And I have the heart. My heart is 30 years younger than me, and it's from a white male.
30 years younger?
Yes, I was 50 when I had the transplant. Unfortunately, some mother out there lost her 20-year-old son.
Oh, wow.
But his organs blessed me and someone else so that we could live. So you have to pay back that gift, that blessing, all the time, and I never forget that I need to pay back that blessing because that mother suffered. She lost her 20-year-old.
Right. Do
But
you tell people to become, because I'm an organ donor, do you tell people to
I
push
encourage
people?
people to check that box to
Mhm.
be an organ donor. When the Georgia Transplant Foundation calls me, my buddy Bobby Cotton got a kidney transplant, played in the NFL. Bobby says, "Yo, I need you to go speak at the Black Nurses Association. I need you to come speak at AMA. I need you to come
Mhm.
speak to this group or that." I just say where and what time.
Yes.
Um, I did it with 100 black men all over the country. I talked to men about men's health and not only physical but mental health. So yeah, you call, I come.
That's amazing, and that is so wonderful because you remember on a daily basis that you breathe and you breathe because of someone else. You know, that is when my mother had her kidneys. I think her kidney lasted for like 30 years
Mm-hmm.
until she passed, but it was still working. You know, I am so grateful to know that um, you were able to put on the list because back a few years ago, because of man of color, you might not have never got on that list.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
the technology, they told me 10 to 15 years ago, the technology that kept me alive didn't exist. The Impala they put in my leg didn't exist 20 years ago. So the things that they were able to do, those gifted hands, some of those things didn't exist. And my doctor happened to be, we're going through this whole immigration thing. He is a Cuban immigrant. Is the gentleman
That's right.
that went to medical school at Duke and was the cardiothoracic surgeon that operated on me. So
So
we
sending
don't
our
need to act like
immigrants back. No.
we don't need to act like we all immigrants from somewhere.
Yes.
But he blessed me and was able to use his gifts to save my life. So no,
Wow. Okay, finally,
all
if
right.
you could tell Emory Hospital out there and the doctors and the nurses and the people who cleaned the room and everybody that played the whole team,
Yeah.
the team that took care of you, what would you tell them?
Oh, I already told every nurse I see that they're superheroes in navy blue because that's their uniform at Emory,
Navy
right?
blue. Yeah.
Navy blue.
Well.
Superheroes in navy blue. They took amazing care of me. The technicians, the people that kept the fields clean and sanitary so I wouldn't get a virus. Uh, the surgeons, the anesthesiologists, they all blessed me, and the people around. I mean, they're just absolutely amazing. And when you see a health professional, just thank them. The same way we thank military people for their service, we should thank the young lady I'm dating, who happens to be a nurse. We should thank
Oh,
those
she's a
first
nurse.
responders.
You know what, God?
We should thank those first responders the same way we do the military. Thank you for your service.
God is so slick. Ain't God slick?
God is good.
You got a heart and you dating a nurse.
Yeah. And I didn't know she was a nurse when I met her. I just knew she was a Georgia Bulldog.
Okay. But I mean,
and a rabid Georgia Bulldog football fan she is, yes.
But he put a nurse in your life.
Yes, sir.
You know, because he does everything perfectly. God does
Okay.
everything perfectly.
Absolutely.
You know, and that's amazing. To have somebody to be able to watch over you. My last question: can you get your heart insured?
No. I tried to up that life insurance after the transplant. They were like, no. Whatever you got before,
that's all you're gonna have.
But you know what I tell somebody? So I want to tell people with any, Get long term disability insurance.
Okay, long
Get
term.
it. Be long term. Get your short term. Get your long term.
Hmm.
All of us are gonna get sick at some point. You never know when. You want to provide that gap for you and your family.
So the long term, let's elaborate on that some.
So
So you, if you're working, you only get so much.
if you no, a lot of times you work.
Mhm.
If you don't have long term or short term disability, you get your vacation days paid
And
out,
then that's
right? And
it.
that's it.
Hmm.
Short term is a certain period of time, maybe 3, 6 months,
Right.
whatever. And then if you're still there left in that, then the long term kicks in. And
Hmm.
until you get back up able to work, and let's say you never be able can work again, that long term kicks in, and then make sure you and your family can be provided for however long that is. And if you don't have it, and it's
Hmm.
pennies, it's a couple of dollars a month,
Yeah, it is. It's not
right?
that much.
But it protects you for when the inevitable
So you
or the
got
unexpected is going to happen.
you you are definite that you really need to keep pick that, because
Yeah.
sometimes we look over our insurance and we're like, oh, okay, I ain't gonna get that. I get that next year, or I'm not gonna, just them pennies just to
It
pay
doesn't
for
even
that.
cost us on a monthly basis.
Hmm.
Going out to dinner on Friday is more expensive than getting that monthly.
Wow, I like that.
Yeah.
And I do have long term. I don't have short term. I probably should get short term
Yeah.
because I ain't getting sick no time soon.
That's what I thought.
I know, right? All right, closing thoughts. Thank you, Dr. Vaughn. I appreciate you so much. As we wrap up our conversation with Dr. Arthur Vaughn, it is clear that his journey is one of resilience, purpose, and hope. From overcoming the challenges of a heart transplant to his impactful work with HBCU schools, Dr. Vaughn exemplifies the spirit of perseverance. His involvement in Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity highlights the importance of community and brotherhood, and it's inspiring to see his commitment to uplift others. As he embarks on the journey of dating, we're reminded that love can be a powerful force for healing and connection. He got a nurse, y'all. Thank you, Dr. Vaughn, for sharing your story with us. Your insight on life, love, legacy resonates deeply, and we wish you all the best in finding that special someone that you've already found. Let's continue to support one another and lift each other up as we navigate the complexity of relationships. Until next time, again, my name is Tanya R. Lewis, and I am the Diary of Dating Over 50. And you know that I'm an advocate for sex trafficking. Do not forget my event that's coming up June 28th. We are going to bring awareness to sex trafficking. And sex trafficking can not only be someone taken, but it can happen right in your face. You could be living right next door to somebody that is sex trafficking their children, their neighbors. We just have to bring awareness to it. It's going to be at Club Jazzy, like I said, June 28th in Cleveland, Ohio. I hope to see everybody in Cleveland come out and support this cause. Again, until next time, Tanya R. Lewis, the host of the Diary of Dating Over 50.